Episode 2, Flames of Betrayal. In 1258, the Mongol Empire, led by Kublai Khan, swept across Asia, crushing kingdoms with their swift horses. King Tran Thai Tong, young but fierce, ruled Dai Viet, a land of rivers and jungles. His people loved their capital, Thang Long, with its dragon banners. When Mongol general Uriyangkhadai demanded surrender, Dai Viet stood ready to fight, using clever plans to protect their freedom. Kiet crouched in the dark woods, heart pounding, as the Mongol scout's torch lit his hiding spot. The scout's blade glinted, steps crunching closer. Kiet gripped his dragon-etched sword, whispering,
"I must warn the king."
He'd overheard Captain Dung's treachery, planning to open Thang Long's gates for the Mongols. Kiet, a 22-year-old fisherman-turned-scout, had spied on the Mongol camp, finding their supply trail. Now betrayal threatened his land. Kiet held his breath, mud cold against him. The scout muttered in a strange tongue, then turned back to the Mongol camp. Kiet exhaled, shaking but alive. Scouting had hardened him, teaching him to steady his fear. He crept through the jungle, silent as a fish, racing to the royal camp outside Thang Long. Dragon banners flapped in the moonlight, soldiers sharpening spears, faces grim. Kiet dodged guards, shouting, "Stop!" He pushed past, bursting into King Tran Thai Tong's tent. The young king, barely older than Kiet, stood with generals, a dragon-etched sword at his side.
"Your Majesty, Captain Dung's a traitor,"
Kiet panted.
"He'll open Thang Long's gates at midnight."
The king's eyes narrowed, fierce like a dragon's. "Bring Dung to me," he ordered a general. "Kiet, you've done well. Stay close." Kiet's chest swelled, but his hands trembled. He was no longer just a village boy. He was part of the fight. The generals planned a trap, let Dung lead a patrol, but hide archers to catch him. That night, Kiet watched from a hill. Dung, tall and sly, led a patrol near Thang Long's gates. He raised a torch, signaling the Mongols. Arrows flew from hidden archers, and loyal soldiers seized Dung, who cursed,
"You'll pay for this,"
as they dragged him away. Kiet's heart raced. He'd saved the city from betrayal. The king said, "The Mongols march at dawn. We need you, Kiet." Kiet nodded, his fear buried deep. Scouting had made him stronger, ready to face battle. At dawn, the Mongol army charged, hooves shaking the earth. Uriyangkhadai, scarred and fierce, led the cavalry, their arrows darkening the sky. Kiet, trusted by the king, joined the spearmen, his sword ready. Tuan's training echoed.
"Breathe steady."
His hands were firm, his heart steady. The Vietnamese formed a shield wall, spears bristling. Kiet fought beside them, his blades slashing a Mongol rider's leg. The king had burned fields around Thang Long, leaving no food for the enemy. Kiet's report about the supply trail helped. Raiders torched Mongol carts, leaving their army hungry. Uriyangkhadai roared,
"These worms defy us."
his men tired in the humid heat, horses slipping in mud. The Mongols broke through Thang Long's walls, looting homes. Kiet fought in the streets, his sword flashing, saving a fallen villager. Flames rose as houses burned. He found Lan in a temple, clutching their father's spear, face pale.
"Get, the city's falling!"
She cried, her reed charm around her neck. Kiet grabbed her hand.
"Stay strong, Lan. The king has a plan."
His voice was calm, but his heart ached. Seeing his sister scared tested him, but he'd grown tougher, able to lead under pressure. He led her to safety, dodging Mongol patrols. King Tran ordered a retreat. "We'll fight in the jungles," he said. "Abandon Thang Long to save our people." Kiet guided villagers through river paths, his steps sure. Scouting had taught him every twist of the Red River. Their trust weighed on him, but he used fear to keep moving. In the jungle, the king rallied his men. "The Mongols don't know our land," he said. "Strike like ghosts." Kiet took charge of a band, 12 men, farmers and fishers like him.
We're dragons, not prey.
He told them, his voice strong. They struck Mongol patrols, silent and swift, arrows flying from trees. Kiet led a raid, cutting down a scout, his sword steady. Lan helped villagers set traps, spikes in mud, poisoned wells. The Mongols cursed the heat, their armor heavy, mosquitoes biting. Kiet's raids slowed them, his leadership growing with each strike. One night, Kiet scouted a Mongol camp, his steps sure. Uriyangkhadai stood by a fire, muttering,
We'll leave, but we'll return to crush this land.
Kiet's heart sank. The Mongols wanted revenge. Their army, low on food, was weak, ready to retreat. Uriyangkhadai planned a final attack at Dongbodao. Kiet memorized the plan, his mind sharp. The king gathered his forces in the jungle. "We'll trap them at Dongbodao," he said. "Kiet, lead your men to a narrow bridge. Lure the Mongols there." Kiet nodded, his heart steady. He wasn't the scared boy from the village anymore. He could lead men to victory. At dawn, Kiet's band lured the Mongols to the bridge, pretending to flee. Uriyangkhadai charged, shouting,
Finish them.
Kiet raised his sword, signaling archers in trees. Arrows rained, and Kiet's men struck, swords flashing. Kiet fought at the front, his blade cutting through riders. The Mongols slipped in the mud, horses panicking. Uriyangkhadai bellowed,
Retreat.
His army fled north, tattered and broken. The Vietnamese cheered, dragon banners high. Thang Long was scarred but free. Kiet stood by the river, Lan at his side.
You did it.
She said, smiling. Kiet gripped his sword, proud but wary. The Mongols were defeated, but Uriyangkhadai's words echoed. They'd return for revenge. King Tran called Kiet to the rebuilt city. "Your courage saved us," he said, clapping Kiet's shoulder. "Stay ready. They may come back." As Kiet helped rebuild the village, he heard a rustle in the jungle. A Mongol scout, left behind, watched from the shadows, eyes burning with hate. Kiet froze, hand on his sword.
Who's there?
He called, his voice steady but tense.
Bristling, standing up stiffly like spikes. The hedgehog's spines were bristling when danger came near. Buried, hid or pushed down deep, she buried her sadness to smile for her friends. Crushing, defeating, or destroying completely. The army was crushing its enemies with great force. Defy, resist, or challenge bravely. The boy dared to defy the bully's mean words. Glinted, sparkled, or flashed with light. The coin glinted in the bright sunlight. Lured, tricked, or attracted to a trap. The bait lured the fish into the net. Tattered, torn, or ragged. The old flag was tattered after the storm. Treachery, betrayal, or disloyalty. His treachery hurt everyone who trusted him.